Hey, everybody.
I don't got my hand grenade.
Welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. You're missing... That's all right. I'm Matt Connerton, and this is, as you can see, the Honorable Gary S. Hopper.
Go get it.
The shape-shifting... The shape-shifting Gary S. Hopper.
Hold on.
He's a little disoriented because the shape-shifting will do that. But
yeah, wax out, dude.
Gary, finally, I see that you've decided you're tired of being a woman.
Yes.
And you shape-shifted back into the Honorable Gary S. Hopper.
Yeah. Yes, I sometimes. Oh, thank you very much, Ross. That's awesome. Our guest this evening is Ross Terrio,
who has drawn a
Manchester fame,
drawn a hand
who
grenade
just drew
for
a
us.
hand grenade. At least this is better than usually he comes and draws blood, so that's better.
Yes, he's a very violent man.
Oh,
I need that paperback after you're done.
No, I don't think so. I don't trust you. I know how you people are.
No, Gary, please, we don't have to bring race into it. My goodness.
Did I ever tell you your show sucks?
Yeah, you did. I guess a few times.
Now, can I say, if Ross takes that back, if I say that makes you an Indian giver, is that racist?
Yes.
All right, because everything's racist.
It matters what
now.
kind of Indian, American Indian or Asian Indian.
Right.
Oh, wow, I hadn't even thought about it that deeply, which I guess is really politically incorrect not to think about it deeply.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So, Gary, it is good to have you back. Much as I love Jane, she is lovely, and frankly, she is more attractive than you.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of him, though, when he was like 20 years old?
Yeah, because
he,
he
looks like a chick.
posted one on Facebook once with the long
Like
hair.
He's skinny with like long blonde
Yeah,
hair.
oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cute. Yeah.
It's a good thing you never went to
I
prison.
look back at it, I'm attracted to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
weird.
that
That's
good.
creepy.
Wow.
It is.
That's creepy in a very unhealthy way, but
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Is that what?
So if you could go back in time,
Right.
there's a possibility of, like, gay
Yeah.
incest with yourself?
hold on. Did you see that commercial where the guy's shaving? Did
Well, I had to ask.
you see the
No,
commercial where the
you
guy's
didn't have
shaving?
to
Goes,
ask.
I'd hug me, and then he shaved a little bit more.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I would flirt with me, and
Right.
The same thing, yeah.
it's creepy.
It is. That's one reason I always jerk. I always let's say for instance, not me, but a friend of mine always made sure he or she, it's a friend of mine, stayed very close to where things were illegally moderate enough so that I wouldn't, or he,
Is
or
this
she.
one of those fake third-party stories that's really about yourself?
No, it couldn't possibly be that.
Okay.
End up in prison because I was so darn cute. I just could not imagine what would happen to me there. So
You have no problem now. I can
Nor
tell
should you
that.
imagine
no,
that.
I don't have any problem now.
No.
No.
And we should mention, and of course, I make this observation in the most heterosexual way possible. I want to put that out there. Ross, you are looking quite trim and svelte.
Thank you.
Svelte.
I don't know if it's possible to
Is
use
it
that word and sound heterosexual, but I gave it a shot.
No.
Svelte,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was yeah.
Well, that's a heterosexual word. Fabulous is a gay word.
That's
gay people
very
have
gay.
owned that
Yeah.
completely. You
Yes.
Well, they own gay. I mean, that used
No,
to
no,
be.
that evolved. You know, we have the evolution of people.
'Cause that's- no, no, I
It used to
mean,
be
back-
happy. Gay used to mean happy.
Yeah.
And then it meant homosexual.
I feel
And now
pretty,
it's evolving into
I
uncool.
feel witty.
Yes.
I feel pretty and witty and gay.
We already have a caller.
It's a pity.
Your return is already bringing us calls.
Yes. What?
Let's find out. Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
You missed me.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. This is Eddie, and I want to say that
Is that
I got a
Sapienza?
couple of questions, but first I want to say I'm a huge fan of Danny Terrio. I think he's a great guy and
Dance
a great
fever.
servant of the people.
Denny Terrio. That guy could
I'm
dance.
sorry, Ross Terrio.
Whatever.
Ross Terrio.
Oh, man.
But they are related, of course, correct? You are related to
Listen,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
obviously there are a number of issues right now with Manchester School.
Oh, no. I came on the show to
Too
get
many
away
to go
from that.
into. Too many to go into. I'm just going to pick one.
Okay.
And I'd like to get your input on basically Kelly Tamboris' letter and her thoughts on the over-assessing. That's why I'm just going to ask you about that one thing. The over-assessing of the kids takes away from teaching and learning, I think. I want to get your input, Ross, and what, if anything, the Board of School Committee is going to do about it. Again, I'm a huge fan of Ross Terry. I think he's a rising young star in the Republican Party. We're going to hang up and listen for his answer.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, so
Rising young
just a
star.
little bit of back. Yeah, I
You're
am.
not that young.
I'm just jealous.
He looks younger with the
Actually,
weight
I'm gonna
loss.
be,
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna be
does.
50. It's next summer.
Are you
Yeah,
really?
So I was
50 years old.
43 when I ran for state rep.
Oh, awesome for you. This is about
You do
me.
look-
Enough about you. Let's
You
talk
do look
about
young
me
for your
now.
age.
But thank you.
He has boyish features.
But
You mean
So-
he's immature?
Well, I wasn't. I'm
Okay.
trying to be
guys,
nice.
let's focus here.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. He's like
He's
George
not- he's not-
Lambert with
he's not-
the
he's-
exasperation.
He's not used to this program, apparently.
So,
I know. He's only been on like 11 times or something.
Yeah, you
I
know.
better not lose. I'm blaming it on you.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, to get back to Ed's question, to fill you in, you guys probably don't watch local news or TV, but Kelly Tamboris is a teacher in Manchester who's exasperated. So we have a bunch of new assessments now. We have NEWA, which is a type of testing, and now we also do a lunch. In addition to that, we have a bunch of testing of the students. In her letter, she complained about, I feel like all I'm doing is testing students. I'm not teaching them. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. This needs to end. So we had a school board meeting, and I think that the administration, and I don't speak for the administration, but this is what I see and what I think is happening is Dr. Livingston, the administration, is trying to improve education in Manchester.
Is that Dr. Livingston, I presume?
Yes, of
Yeah.
that fame.
Yeah.
Dr. Livingston
When I-
Seagull? Is that the same family?
Yeah, same thing. I love that book. One of my favorite books.
Yes.
And I actually, the first time I met her, I said that too. I said, I said, Dr. Livingston, I presume I've been.
It's probably
dying
about
to
the
say that."
5,000 times
I'm sure
she's
she hears
heard
it every day.
yeah.
But anyway.
I'm sure she gave you the courtesy laugh anyway.
She did. She had this courtesy yeah, if I had $1 for every time But anyways, I truly believe they're trying to improve education in Manchester, and this is why we have so much assessments. The problem is, and we mentioned in our try to flush out in the school board meeting, is you can focus too much and go too heavily on assessments and lose focus on education. So what we're starting to, there was a number of us, myself included, we said, are all these assessments necessary? Because there's a lot of complaints from parents and teachers, is that all we're doing is testing, and we're not learning enough. There's not enough education going on. And I do believe, Ed, that there are going to be some changes made, and the administration has for the most part, good their heart's in the right place, but it maybe not going. They're going about it in the best way. So I think we
I
need
can
to,
fix this real easy.
Sure.
If you
What's
want.
that? What's the fixing?
It's wicked simple. You guys in Manchester hired an administrator and/or administrative assistant. I think once every 6 days.
That's probably
Wait.
That's
no,
probably
it's not.
wrong.
No, it's
but,
not.
yeah.
No, it isn't. It's exactly correct. So what you do, if you got all these administrators, what
Yeah.
you do is you go send them to the classroom,
Yeah.
okay, and have them administer tests and let the
Okay.
teachers teach, because they're so out of touch. It's like I've worked at a lot of companies. It's the same thing. You get companies that are small. The people who are administering, so to speak, or the foremen and people like that, are very well connected to the product line, understand what's going on, understand the needs and what people are doing and what they're not
Let me
doing.
stop you for 1 second.
Wait, let me finish.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Can I say that?
You can say that,
Okay.
but that's
But
but
it's-
then
it's
the
that type
Redskins
of
thing, you're
situation?
going to be,
Okay.
that's. I think you're probably going to have to.
And let me interrupt you again
Apologize
because I
for
love
that.
interrupting you. Not saying that one of the hosts here, wife, is a teacher. Not saying who, and probably has some insights into education in Manchester.
Yes. So
Matt.
so if the administrators had to actually get out into the field so that they could actually have a clue what's going on, and maybe if they administered all these tests, the number of tests would decline radically and quickly.
Is,
Precipitously is a very good word that I could
25
have used
cents.
had I known it ahead of time.
That's a sixer. Precipitously.
6 syllables or
Is it
6?
5 or 6?
it's massive.
I'm not good at math.
Yeah, 5. I thought it
Oh,
was
it's only 5. Yeah.
But I might be speaking it wrong too, so
You spoken it wrong?
I might be saying it wrong. Yeah,
you
Listen,
should,
anyway,
your wife's a
that's-
teacher. You should ask her.
yeah.
I-
Let's have
well,
her
I thought
call
we
in,
weren't gonna
or
admit
she
that.
probably doesn't watch the
She
show.
doesn't watch
No,
the show.
she never watches. No, she's out with the doing Boy Scouts, bringing the grandkids to Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
What did you think?
I thought
You
were
gave me
gonna
that look.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you have bad eyesight, so you don't know what look I'm giving you.
I can guess. It's pretty, and my
How
odds
many,
are
how many fingers do I have up?
all of them.
Actually, none of them, but
No, they were all up.
no, they were all down.
No,
Yeah.
they're up.
Your eyesight's.
That's
you need to-
down.
you
This
need-
is up.
Yeah. See, everything's relative with fingers, I guess.
Yeah.
And anyway, if you're going to do it like this, you don't want to extend those fingers anyway, because that would ruin your re-election.
No, you know the power salute from the '60s.
The power is, I said, if you put those fingers
Like the Black
in an
Panthers.
erect position.
Did you ever see the '68 Mexico Olympics? Remember the track and field? You don't remember?
Yeah,
that
I have the
picture? It's a real
DVD,
thing.
Ross. I
Watch that all the time.
I got it from Netflix. Yes, of course.
Ross. I was only a little kid.
You were like 30 at the time. Come on.
You're really almost 50.
Yeah, next summer.
Do you use oil of Olay?
Yeah, I moisturize. Yeah,
Little-
coconut cream.
a little-
I love the smell of coconut
little,
cream. in the morning. It's the smell of victory.
What do they? Touch of black or something, gray or whatever you. What do you use? to
No,
keep
I
it?
don't.
No,
Don't color
you
my
can
hair
tell-
yet.
No,
I
wait.
actually
You
do
can
have
tell me.
I do have.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
I have gray hairs.
The Malaysians will know.
Yeah, the Malaysians all know.
Yeah.
Who are the Malaysians?
Our audience.
viewing audience.
We're huge in
all
Malaysia.
two of them?
Well, I don't think there's two. How many are
Oh,
there?
there's they're breeders.
No, that's
There's
a big
lot of them.
country. That's Indonesia. That's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
No, seriously, you guys are on the line and people watch it around the world
Yeah.
Yeah, we get constant feedback.
from Malaysia.
Yeah.
Sabah,
Yeah, of
Malaysia.
Of course.
Sabah.
Huh?
That's a city in Malaysia. It's a big city. in
Right.
Malaysia.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yes. They actually.
I actually have a friend on Facebook from Malaysia. I'm going to ask him if they've ever heard of you.
Oh, I
Okay,
guarantee
yeah,
you.
go,
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
She's going
Absolutely,
to say
yeah.
what? She's going to say WTF? Are you talking about?
They say that in Malaysia.
What are you talking
Well,
about? It wouldn't
they
be-
say it in Malay, which
What are
is
you
the
Right.
language in
talking?
Malay.
What are you talking about? Wouldn't be WTF?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Just saying.
Why did I come on the show again?
I don't know if any idea. You invited yourself, so I had to kind of
True.
start.
Well, I was in the thing, and I felt bad for you
And
guys.
we needed a hand grenade.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We
Which-
had a hand.
We
grenade.
had a hand grenade.
We
Yeah.
had- So anyway, I just wanted to tell the people what's been going on. I don't know if you actually said anything. I was out for like 6 weeks. You said I don't even remember.
I haven't been watching the show, but
Of course not. So
You're not Malaysian.
yeah,
Why would you?
exactly. Your friends watching it all the time.
yeah, whatever.
Hi, Ross's friend.
He's probably sleeping. The time difference is huge.
Yeah, that's why they're watching
12
online. It's not. They're not calling because of the time
Right.
difference.
Oh, that's the reason.
That's
the
I know
reason,
from-
yes,
okay.
yes.
Good one, Gary.
This is what our demographic research shows.
Yeah, we do a lot of demographically researching.
I
it-
took a home study course in it.
Yeah, I took his home study course in it. So, yeah, so I was out for 6 weeks. I had earlier this year I had
Radiation
2 months of
therapy, right?
radiation, and
Yeah.
it took like a month and a half, I
Did
think,
you
to
say
recover
too
from
much
that.
radiation?
Way too much. And then at the beginning of September, I started radiation on the other side, and they just finished frying that a few weeks ago, and now it's kind of healed up, at least
How you
enough.
feeling?
Still tired, but not as bad as I was. I
Good to have you
mean,
back.
huh?
Good to have you back.
Thanks, dude. Still working on this cotton picking arm that I can.
Do you tell your doctor it hurts when I do this, and then he says don't do
No,
that?
I can't do that. That's the problem. So they said because what happened was I went through the rotator cuff surgery.
Oh, wow. And, wow, you're freaking falling apart.
Yeah, wicked. Well, I get hit on Elm Street. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I saw your posting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that bad, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know if you get reelected. I got a couple of pieces of legislation that I want you to help
You're
me
going to
with.
get reelected. You always win. So slam dunk. Who are you running against, anyway?
3 Democrats, a libertarian, and a write-in candidate.
And for how many seats?
3. So there's 2 other Republicans.
Okay, and who are the Democrats?
Rockland Ware,
Never heard of them.
yeah, and I should know the other guy, James Ashworth, I think. Nice, he's a really nice guy. And the other lady, I was surprised she even lived in town.
Probably doesn't.
Um,
Probably lives in Massachusetts and is commuting, telecommuting.
yeah, probably. But anyway,
Well, let me ask you this, though, and I'm sorry, just very curious. What are the Democrats' chance where you live in a pretty Republican area, right?
yeah, I mean the Democrats' chance are somewhere between non-existent and I mean not really. I mean they,
Slim and none.
then yeah, I mean it
Slim just
depends.
left the building.
Like Neil Kirk has a hard time because he's aggravated so many people.
Yeah, he kind of like that paranoid about privacy thing.
That's actually good. That doesn't bother anybody. The vehemently anti-union thing, I think, hurts them more than anything else.
And where you live, I wouldn't think that would matter.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the thing is the Republican Party has this thing against unions.
Yeah.
But the fact of the
Civil
matter
unions?
is, there's a lot of people in the unions that are Republican, that love their right to bear arms, and are conservative socially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't watch your show.
No, they all watch my show. But they don't want to be attacked every time Republicans get elected.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what so there's that group of people, and so I actually got the most votes in the primary. I think last term I got the most votes of any Republican, but there was one woman that was kind of new to the scene, which she used to be the clerk in town for 20 years. Evelyn Connor, who's a really nice lady, but she's also really liberal.
Yeah.
So because of her name recognition, she actually beat Neil and I in the general election.
So she's up there right now, though.
She's up there right now, but now she moved to Goffstown.
She's running against John Byrne.
She's going to run against John
I
Burt.
hope she goes down in flames. I like Burt.
Yeah, well, she's a nice lady too. I mean, I'd rather John Burt because of the way he votes, but she's a really nice woman.
Well, let me ask you guys predictions this year. What do you think? Everybody's talking about a Republican wave. What do you think?
I don't see it. I don't see any.
Well, you don't see anything. I mean, how many hands I have?
What?
How many fingers do I have up?
Some of them.
That's a good answer.
It is. It's a political answer.
That's right. That's
Exactly.
right.
It's a political show, Matt.
It is.
So, Matt, what do you
it is.
think? Republican wave or no?
You mean nationally?
Or even?
No, I
state?
thought we were talking state. I don't.
Yeah,
You
both.
don't see it, do you?
I think we're going to take back the state house and keep the Senate.
Yeah,
And I
but
think we're going to take back the executive council. Governor, I'm not so sure about.
no way we're going to take the governor.
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
I mean, Walt's a good guy, but I don't think he's got the. I mean, she's also going around being pretty full of garbage too. She's the same thing. We were talking with Glenn Olette about the advertising is so misleading that it's pretty pathetic.
Well, I had I don't know if you've seen it. They've mailed this big postcard the Democratic Party has around the state, and all they do is they change the names up at the top. So it's the same postcard and makes the same claims against everybody.
Yeah.
But they just change the names. Have you seen that?
I haven't
This is
gotten
the
one
Bill
in my
O'Brien
district.
Koch brothers. So they put my name on it, and
They attacked you with that one?
there's 5 names on it. But here's the problem: 3 of the people have never held office. So they're talking about all these votes that were made that were bad for New Hampshire and how we're going to come back and vote again. But 3 of the people have never voted because they've never been in office.
Yeah.
And you voted against right to work, so
I
you voted
Right
against
to
the
Work.
Koch
And not only
brothers.
that, but I also voted. Remember, there was a bill to restore some mental health and healthcare funding for like the elderly and kids and stuff.
And me?
Yeah, but you remember that we voted to put it back in.
No, I don't remember.
I voted. So the original budget cut some funding for medical spending and some mental health issues. So we voted to put it back in when the money came back in about 6 months later. What they forgot to mention is that I voted that to restore the funding, but they conveniently left that out.
Well, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
those are boilerplates. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just against anybody. So,
Yeah.
I just hope that the voters are able to see through that and realize it's just propaganda.
It is. I mean, most of the stuff coming out right now is just propaganda. So I haven't seen that in my district. Obviously, if they say I'm in bed with the Koch brothers, then that is, like I voted against right to work too. So that's just stupid.
You know, I heard about the Koch brothers. Interesting, and I don't know if this is true. The Koch brothers, they're painted as these right-wing extremist bogeymen, but they support gay marriage. They spend tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, on philanthropic type things.
They support Nova. One of the brothers who does Nova.
They fund museums and things like
Yeah.
that. So they're not as extreme as you would believe.
There was, I know you guys, I'm sure, neither of you watch MSNBC.
I do.
would
Actually,
guess.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
get annoyed with the Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
And Lawrence.
Lawrence O'Donnell.
Oh, I want to call him
Olivier.
Olivier. I was going to call him Olivia.
Olivier?
But
No, not-
he's just so they're just so smug and smarmy. So
Why? Lawrence O'Donnell, when he came back, because he was gone for months and months because he was in a very bad accident.
I didn't know that. What happened to him?
Yeah, he was on vacation somewhere, and he was in a Jeep that flipped over or something, and he was messed up. He had a long recovery. Okay. But when he came back, because of course he's one of those guys, he's a liberal, so he's always slamming the Koch brothers. But when he came back, he said, on his first show back, he said, I know my audience is smart enough to, handle having two somewhat contradictory thoughts.
Compartmentalized.
Yeah, at the same time. And he was talking about how, on the one hand, he disagrees with a lot of what the Koch brothers do and who they fund and whatnot. But at the same time, he also acknowledged that when he was when he got back to the U.S., they flew him back to the U.S. to get him into an American hospital. And he was in bad shape and he's banged up. And it's kind of ironic, but as they were bringing him into the hospital, he sees, I don't remember what hospital it was somewhere in New York. There's a plaque when you're going into the hospital that says, I forget if it's Charles or David Koch, but one of the Koch brothers, I guess, gives a lot of money to or founded that hospital as a charity thing.
Right.
So it kind of seeing that and that being in that moment very comforting. In that moment, it kind of made him look at things a little bit differently and reminded him that you need to look, not everything's black and white, right and left. And
I think that's the problem is if you go by the advertisements, I think that's one reason why we have such a low voter turnout. By the time an election comes, everybody hates everybody.
Right. Yeah, I think that's very true.
If you just look at the ads, you would have to presume that if you ever met that candidate in person, they have horns.
Yeah.
Right.
And hoof feet.
Right.
Right? I mean, and it's all stupid.
Yeah.
I know some of my Republican friends remember we did the thing on GMOs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had Representative Manning. I forgot her. Oh, shoot, I screwed up. But anyway, she's a really nice lady.
Yeah.
Obviously, I disagree with her on 70% of what she votes on. But that doesn't mean, A, she's stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean she's a bad person. I mean, we vilify everybody that we disagree with.
If she disagrees with you 70% of the time, she's probably pretty smart.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. but
She's probably a good person, actually.
but she's a really
I'd like to meet this lady and get to know her. She seems like a good citizen.
But you don't want to. Yeah, you're going to go vote for her.
He's just trying to reach across party lines.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to piss you off.
No, but I'll post something. I posted something about a month ago from.
On Facebook?
On Facebook from something Warren. What's that liberal commie from Senator?
Oh, Elizabeth Warren.
Warren.
Yeah.
Pocahontas?
On my Facebook, because there was a lecture she gave on, I don't even remember what it was. And somebody says, why are you pushing this liberal agenda? I says, listen to the talk. It has nothing to do with liberal or conservative. It's talking about, I think, the economic makeup, how it's changed over the last 50 years.
I think I did see that posting.
Yeah, and it was like people presume, because I listen to the other side, that I necessarily agree with everything they say, or I must be a turncoat or something.
Right.
To me,
Or
if you're
both.
not willing to, it could be
They're not
both.
mutually exclusive.
Exclusive?
Yeah.
Exclusive? Oh, yes. But
Make no excuses for either of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but I would just want to add something about contradictory terms. On the postcard they sent out attacking me, so they said on one side it was building up the Democrats, the other side it was tearing down the Republicans.
Yeah.
So on one side it says, we voted for the bipartisan, which meant, reached across the party lines and had a bipartisan Medicaid expansion. And then on the other side, against the Republicans, it said these Republicans would vote against Medicaid expansion. Well, wait a minute. On the other side, you were just tooting how
How it was bipartisan.
It was a bipartisan
yeah.
Medicaid expansion. Now on this
Yeah.
side, you're saying that the Republicans are going to
They're
vote
all
against
evil,
it, which
yeah.
they don't seem to understand what
Right.
bipartisan means.
Right.
At least it doesn't mean what they think it means.
Well, they assume the voters don't. But this, by the way, Gary, what you were just talking about, it's one of the reasons why I'm an independent, because I just don't want to be, put in, because everybody, like you were saying, they put you into a box and they assume if you agree with the other side on anything, then you're, like you said, you're a turncoat or something. And
Yeah, I think
vote.
Ross and I think have been called rhinos over the years, and we're vote pretty conservative.
Oh yeah, you step out of line on just one thing, and they're calling you a
So
rhino.
anyway, before we finish today, I want to make sure I get this out there.
Here, let me read that for you.
Yeah, wait, I gotta set it up.
I gotta
first.
read it.
I know you can read it. I'll let you read
I
it.
can read. I have
anyway.
20/20 vision.
Why do you need glasses?
Because so the words are bigger.
Whoa!
You getting farsighted?
No, I need reading glasses now.
So
Well, that is farsighted.
so anyway,
Yeah.
one
You
of
lost
the
your train of thought,
obligations
okay.
you have as a voter.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in here, if you're voting, there's a 99.9% chance that
Oh,
you've
so-
pledged allegiance to the flag. Correct?
Yes.
You've done it probably hundreds of times in your life.
Absolutely.
When
yeah.
you said 99%, I thought you were going to say how often you voted with Obama.
No. And so 99% of the people out there must have voted, said pledge allegiance to the flag. Part of that is to the republic for which it stands.
Yeah.
So you, as a citizen, have an obligation to the republic.
Yeah.
Now, what you may not know is you have a further obligation to part of that republic, which is the state of New Hampshire.
Okay.
And the state of New Hampshire clearly identifies or delineates the characteristics of the people you should be voting for. So before you vote for anybody, regardless of whether they're Republican, Democrat, or Independent,
Yeah.
the Constitution tells you.
That's not the Constitution.
It
That's
is.
a piece of paper you
Yeah, it
print out
is.
on your computer.
It's got wrote on it. And is what your obligation is to us as a citizen. Because people get really upset if we go to Concord and we don't vote with the Constitution, right? You get people saying stuff like that. Oh, I got my rights. I know what my... Well, this is your obligation as a
Okay,
voter.
Let me read that for you.
Article 38 of the New Hampshire Constitution.
Yeah, was it part 1 or part 2?
Part 1.
Okay. So social virtues inculcated. I don't even know what that word is.
Inculcated?
I have a big vocabulary, but I don't know what that means.
Inculcated. Oh, that's only a 4.
No, but what does it mean?
I think it just means it's part of.
Spelled
It's
out. Or,
embedded
okay. What?
within
What?
that.
Okay, they're mandatory or something. A frequent recurrence to the fundamental principles of the Constitution and a constant adherence to justice, moderation, temperance, which means not drinking, industry, frugality, and all the social virtues are indispensably necessary to preserve the blessings of liberty and good government. The people ought, therefore, to have a particular regard to all those principles in the choice of their offices and representatives, and they have a right to require of their lawgivers and magistrates an exact and constant observance of them in the formation and execution of the laws necessary for the good administration of government. June 2nd, 1784.
So fundamentally, before you vote for anybody, if they're immoral,
Yeah.
if they do not know how to, if they're not frugal, i.e., they're spending money willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's that? Is he a state rep?
willy-nilly? No, he got booted out because he
didn't
was
have a-
voting.
didn't he
Yeah,
have he was that lip syncing.
No, that was Milli Vanilli.
Oh, okay. Wasn't
Yeah.
it Milli Vanilli?
No.
Willy Nilly?
no, that was another guy.
Okay.
It's an old blues artist, I think, isn't it? Willy nilly.
Willy-nilly.
Blind
Yeah.
Willy nilly.
But anyway, so
Actually, I think it's a Ben and Jerry ice cream flavor.
Oh.
before you vote for anybody, if they're immoral, if they've lied to you, if they're not frugal, you should not vote for them. You should cross them off your list. Period.
Yeah, but if you put a mark on the ballot, then they're going to think that you.
I'm
voted for
saying
all of them.
before they go in, they're not eligible for your vote,
Oh.
and I don't care. So if whoever signed your card that went to your the thing
the
from the
postcard,
Democrat,
yeah,
the
yeah.
postcard.
Ray Buckley, Raymond S. Buckley.
Okay,
the
so-
Honorable Raymond S. Buckley. He was a state rep.
Yeah, I know. I did. I'll tell you a story. I did.
Okay.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
Awesome.
Anyway, Ray Buckley is lying to the voters in Ross's district. So therefore,
Lying to a lot of people.
yeah. So therefore, whatever that thing should be thrown out, and almost the inverse should be accepted as truth, because it's not necessarily, but they're obviously willing to lie to get something done, and so therefore, I would be if I was in that district and I knew the candidates and I knew they were lying, I would tend to vote for the people that were being lied about. Would be my default position.
Yeah, I don't think the woman I'm running against is they're both nice people. I don't think that it was Ray Buckley, the party chair, who put it out. Their
They
name's
still
not
have
on
to
it.
get okayed.
Maybe.
They always check with me before they do something.
Ray Buckley checks with you before he
No,
attacks
but the
me?
Republicans do.
Oh. The Republicans check with you before they attack me?
Yeah.
Who was on first?
Anyway, so I just wanted to get that out because that to
Yeah.
me that is
Okay, I
that
want
is
to hear your
huge.
funny story about Ray Buckley.
Oh, this is great. I'm probably going to get him in
So
trouble.
you served in the House with him, right?
Oh yeah. So, well, maybe I don't know if he was. I know he was up there. I don't remember if he was a legislator at the time. So I might be incorrect.
Okay.
But anyway, we had the traditional marriage legislation. I think it probably was 2002 to the 2002 legislative session or something. And Paul Bessard was a state rep firefighter from Manchester. One of the nicest people I've ever met up in the legislature. He is, you know how a lot of people don't like certain Christians because they say one thing and do another?
Yeah.
He is the model Christian. Not only is he just a very kind, gentle man, but he actually followed through on what he said he was going to do.
Firefighter
He did-
Democrat?
No, he's Republican.
Oh, okay.
And no, I'm sorry, he's Democrat. Yeah, but he used to do like charity work. I mean, the guy's like a zillion years old, and he's going around doing food pantries and stuff. I mean, he's just a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
But the problem is he is a 1960s and 70s Democrat.
Kind of liberal.
JFK Democrat.
More of no, he's conservative.
Oh, no, a lot of the Democrats from the 60s were, some of them were,
Well,
the
the
counterculture and hippies.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about, but he
Old-fashioned, like a Truman Democrat, like a...
yeah. And so he went up there. He always considered himself a Democrat because he's pro working class, so to speak. But he had very conservative values as far as marriage and everything else. And so he would end up voting with the Republicans a lot. He was kind of their rhino because he
Dino,
got up
they
there.
it. Yeah.
He got up there, Dino.
Like what's Fred Flintstone's
Oh,
dog?
Dino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got up there and he didn't realize how far to the left the party had gotten.
Yeah.
And he was like, so anyway, he signed off as a co-sponsor to one of these bills to define marriages between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And we got to be friends through, anyway, not to get too far off track. So anyway, we're debating this on the House floor.
You know this show has a time limit, right?
No, not my show. It's got kind of a Twilight Zone thing. And anyway, so they're debating that on the House floor. And Ray Buckley is probably, 4 or 5 feet away from me talking to this reporter.
Yeah.
And I only caught part of the sentence.
Yeah.
And the guy said he was from the Times. And he's interviewing Ray Buckley and stuff like that. And I said, so he starts walking by. I says, excuse me, but if you're, a reporter, I presume you want to hear both sides of this argument, correct? And the guy goes, well, yes, I would. I says, well, this is Representative Paul Bessard. He's a co-sponsor of this bill. Maybe you'd like to get his opinion also. So the guy says, I don't know the guy's first name, but it was Tim or whatever. I'm Tim from the Gay Times in Boston. So I looked at Paul, and he's got this like deer in the headlights look. I just walked away laughing. It's like I just threw him under the bus, but it was an accident.
Yeah.
I can tell you felt bad about it.
Yeah, I do. I still feel bad about that one.
Poor guy.
He's a wicked nice guy. But anyway, what does that got to do with anything?
I don't know, but I always enjoy your stories.
Thank you.
Gary's a good storyteller.
So yeah, legislative initiatives. I want you to help me with.
Sure.
One,
Okay.
I found out yesterday that it is illegal if you have an empty casing from a bullet.
Illegal? That's a sick bird, right?
No.
Jeez.
What kind of bird?
But I'm.
If you have like an empty casing, like I think little kids used to like.
Oh, I saw that on your Facebook.
Yeah,
posting.
shotgun casing
Yeah.
or a little 22 from like kids go shooting 22s. They collect them.
Yeah.
If you are found with one of those in your car, that's illegal in Massachusetts.
Are you sure? You might want to double check that.
I-
That's crazy. A spent
It's
one.
Massachusetts.
not
Yeah, spent one. Nothing. It can't do anything except it's brass.
That's.
Wait. You got to
okay.
get to my legislative initiative.
Okay.
So if that's the case, What I want to do, I hope you co-sponsor this with me,
Probably
is
not.
write a bill that it's illegal to be in New Hampshire if you don't have one,
Don't have one.
empty case in your car.
Okay.
The reason is
If you're from Massachusetts, that's how we should. Because if they're going to mess with our people, we should mess with their people.
Ooh, that's like mob stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
yeah. So that way, but because it's
Vendettas.
no, it's not a vendetta. It's an environmental thing. Because if people are hitting the border and throwing out all their empty casings from shooting that weekend,
Yeah.
you need somebody to pick them up,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So they have to stop in the border, look around, grab a casing, throw it on the floor, and take off. Or it could be an employment-ish thing where people sell empty casings at the border for $1.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Why?
How do you get reelected?
I don't know.
If I was your opponent, I would take the show.
right.
But you'd have trouble finding it. But I would take the show, and I would just post like clippings and video clips and things like that, and just take your words and use it against you.
Huh. So now the other idea I had,
Don't give the Malaysians any ideas, Ross.
yeah, they can do some serious attack ads if they
vote
put their
the,
mind to it.
Absentee ballot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So another idea I had
Yeah.
is for legislation initiative is, like I said, I was rear-ended on Elm Street.
I don't want to hear that. Come on, man. This is a kid show. This is a family
It's
show.
not a kid's show. On my motorcycle
Yeah. Oh,
by a 17-year-old kid who was
Yeah.
probably girl watching.
yeah.
Now, you know the
Did he have car insurance?
No.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
So, you know the mantra of the Democrats, if we can just save one child, we need to pass this,
Yes.
right? Well, I don't know how many women distract males driving and cause accidents, but I know that it's, at least in this case, and if we can save one person's life,
Yeah.
so that's why I want to require all women to wear burqas to keep that from happening.
In some countries, that's a requirement already.
See? So we're just getting international kind of in New Hampshire.
And so to make it easy on all of us, we should buy you a one-way ticket to one of these Middle Eastern countries. So then you'll be in a country where they have.
No, you have to. No, it's all the
Okay.
17 to 20-year-old kids.
And Gary doesn't like the heat.
No, I don't like the heat.
It'll be good for you.
No, but it's all the. No, I didn't run into anybody. So why would I have
The
to?
rear end of your bike ran into the guy behind you.
No, Ross doesn't pay attention, does
No, he doesn't. He doesn't listen.
he? We do have a call. Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
Hi, this is Larry Nagro calling from Manchester. I'm watching the show, but can you identify the two guests, what their names are?
You got Matt Connaughton and you've got Gary Hopper.
And Ross Terrio.
Okay,
Who's the crazy one?
who's the
Nutbag?
who's the person sitting next to the host?
Me? I'm Matt.
Who's the host?
Well, you're the host, but
Oh,
he
I'm
doesn't
the
know
host?
that.
He
Now,
doesn't
what's
know
the
that.
host?
I'm your co-host. Right, yeah, he doesn't know. So Gary's the host, I'm Gary's co-host, and Ross is our guest.
Yeah, so let's identify this.
Hello?
Yeah?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, yeah, I'm watching the show.
Yes.
And can you identify the two guests?
All right.
Matt Connaughton is the guy.
Say,
in the
wait,
brown-
no,
Wait,
he-
no. Let me do it. Let me do this. Matt Connaughton
This is
is
Matt.
the man with the long hair. That's Matt. This is Gary, the man with the blind guy with the white hair, and I'm Ross, the person with the tie.
Yes.
Okay.
Ross is the guest.
Are both of you in state government?
No.
The
No.
government in any way?
Only Gary
I'm
is.
not trying to be negative here. I'm just asking this question.
Yeah, Ross is the only. Ross was in the State House in 2000, just one term, right?
One term.
From 2010 to 2012. I have was first elected in 2000. I am currently a state legislator,
And I'm currently unelectable.
Oh, okay.
and he's currently awesome.
Okay. Okay, very good. Because I'm new to New Hampshire. I've been here since 2012,
Okay.
so I'm just catching up on what's going on.
Do you know where you vote?
And I can. Oh yeah, I do vote. I voted in the 2012
No.
elections. I voted in the midterm. I voted in the primaries. I'm voting in the midterms.
Do you
Yeah.
know which
And I've already
polling
decided who I'm voting for. So
which
Oh, okay.
polling station do you vote at?
I vote at. I live off of Hackett Hill Road, so my wife and I go to one of the schools over by
Northwest?
Off of, off of Goffstown Center Road.
Yeah. Is it Northwest Elementary?
Yeah, probably, because we go over to the Amosog Rotary, and then we take a right, and then we take a left.
Yeah.
Take a right on Goffstown Road, and then we take a left, and then we're at and then down to that way to school.
Nice area. Ward 12, I believe.
So I don't. So I think I'm in Ward. 12,
Yes.
and I'm also with being represented in the House of Representatives at the federal level by Carol Shea Porter at this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also, one thing I've got to say about the current election, if Walt Havenstein wins, there's something wrong with this state.
Why?
He can't. I've watched all his debates,
Yeah.
and that Andrew Hemingway ate his lunch at the debates before the primaries,
Right.
and he just doesn't answer the questions correctly.
Yeah. Well, he's not a politician, so that's quite evident in how he carries himself in the election. But I don't think he ever claimed to be.
But
I mean,
I would
the thing is, if somebody is too smooth, like if you listen to the really good politicians, odds are they're full of crap.
Yeah. And I'd say this, people say, well, he doesn't have any political experience, and that's correct, but John Lynch didn't have any political experience, and a lot of people were happy with him as governor.
Yeah.
He ran
Right.
the UNH.
So I disagree just because I don't, the thing is, it's really all fundamentally down to what you believe in. If you believe that government should be smaller, leaner, you're going to tend to vote for him. And if you think government has should play more of a role in providing services to people, then you're going to vote for her. It's pretty simple. It's not. And the problem is people listen to all those stupid ads on TV which are almost meaningless. Mm-hmm. They're just propaganda.
Yeah.
That's why we were talking earlier. Huh?
Yeah, in my mail, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my mailbox is just filled with these campaign flyers every day.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Money.
Hey, look over there.
No.
Yeah.
But
Hey, well, thanks.
But hey, do you know?
Thanks for introducing yourselves. I'm going to say goodbye.
Well, okay, a quick one. First of all, you can't vote for me because I'm in Ware. Second thing is, you might want to know is, where are you from, Mass?
I think he hung up.
Okay.
Originally from Massachusetts. My wife moved. My wife and I actually traveled around the country in an RV for
Oh, cool.
8 years, from 2004 to 2012,
That's awesome.
and then we gave that up, and we moved to Manchester, New Hampshire. My family, my children all still live in Massachusetts.
But just so you understand the framework of what you're voting for or who you're voting for, in New Hampshire, it's constitutional that a state legislator or state senator only make $100 per year. So
Yes.
when you see legislators, people running for office, you might disagree with them, but you should have a certain amount of compassion for the fact that they're volunteering. It's not like Massachusetts where they actually make money.
Yeah, it's truly a citizen legislature here.
Right. I still follow Massachusetts politics, and it just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It is entertaining, though.
They just drive me crazy.
But welcome to New Hampshire, and thanks for the call.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
He's never going to
Well,
vote for me, I'll tell you
No,
that.
well, fortunately. Remember that movie? There was about a guy that drove around the country in an RV. I think it was Lost in America. I guess you probably don't remember.
Oh, is it the movie with
You're a
Steve
lot
Carell?
older. Ross,
No, it's
you're a
before
lot
that.
older than us, so you probably,
You're older than me. Come on, Gary.
not.
I graduated in the 80s. You graduated in the early 70s. You've got to be at least 10 years older than me. You're 10 years older
mature
than me.
as you. Then let's put it that way.
You're more portly.
That means I can have tankards.
Means you're
coming in,
obtuse.
or
It means you're
How awesome is that?
yeah,
It's quite the
it'd be pretty
It
compliment.
means you're obtuse.
no, portly means like I have a shipyard.
Yeah.
Or
No,
something.
portly means you're a little bit puffy.
Shipyard, no, like a pufferfish. They're
Yeah.
poisonous.
Yeah.
Why don't you go eat one?
I will.
Yeah.
Actually, Japanese people, there's a way of making it so you get a little bit of a buzz, but you don't get poisoned.
Go for it.
No, I'm not. I'm not into sushi. That.
Oh no, your daughter's nice, so maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably unkind.
Jerk, Gary Hopper.
He just attacked his family.
Yeah. So anyway, my other idea for legislative initiatives is
Have you ever had a bill that passed?
my other idea. This is my third great idea. My legislative agenda is I don't know if anybody else runs into this, but to me, it's a real issue.
What?
Is that all cereal sold in the state of New Hampshire should either be spherical, granular, or in a triangular shape?
What are you talking about?
Okay, and why?
Because it's unreasonable to pour the milk in and it splashes all over the counter.
Oh, see, I don't.
get that.
I do it all the time.
I don't put milk in my cereal. It makes it soggy. That's another reason why I'm an independent.
Wait, why would making the change the shape of the cereal?
Because some of when you have like cornflakes and things that are don't meet the stringent criteria. Yeah, you notice I don't care how much sugar's in it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
is they form like a cup shape, so you pour it and it goes outside.
Okay, that's
right.
true.
So I just think that that's
I
wrong.
thought you were a Republican who believed in smaller government and less regulation.
And smaller cereal grains.
But see, Gary
Same
also
part
though
of
is a problem solver.
Yes. See,
What
I
problems
solved
has
the
he solved?
problem.
Give me a problem a true problem that he's actually solved.
Well, he's trying to solve problems.
I am.
But you got to support him on these bills.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were almost like
A
acquaintances.
little bit of advice I heard at a medical conference that I'm going to give to you for free.
At a what conference?
Medical conference.
Oh, okay.
Magical conference.
Yeah, magical medical.
You're still selling drugs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody cares about the things that you care about. Just take that to heart.
Everybody, no.
They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, they don't know it yet.
Yeah.
No, actually, in all seriousness, yeah.
You guys going to buy me a drink and some dinner afterwards?
I can't. I've got a commitment.
What's your commitment? You're
I
already
got
married.
No, not that. No, I'm going to be committed. No, that's not right. No, I got to do something with my favorite son. Anyway,
Like what? Let me guess. Rearrange your sock drawer, wash your hair.
no, nothing that important. But any of the above are more important than going out with you afterwards. So anyway, my first year as a legislator,
Yeah.
first term,
Yeah.
I introduced legislation to allow handgun hunting in shotgun-only areas.
Okay.
And that actually passed.
And that's your crowning achievement of your legislative career.
No, but you said
Pathetic. That is pathetic.
No, that's not-
I couldn't think I could have a lower opinion of you, but that just
No,
that
I-
just takes the cake. You know
Nope.
what I mean?
Okay, legislative achievement. This one took me 10 years. It took me 10 years. I kept introducing legislation to eliminate race or sex or sexual orientation as a reason to hire or basically, to eliminate affirmative action in New Hampshire.
That passed, right?
That finally passed in 2011. And what was the governor before?
Lynch.
Lynch. Let it go through. So yeah, I've actually had some pretty good
So you've
achievements.
been up
Actually,
there, what, 14 years?
no, not completely. I missed 3.
Well, okay, 9, whatever. How do you miss 3? It's a 2-year term.
Special election.
Oh, okay. So you've had 2 bills pass, and
No, more than that. But those are the big ones.
let me ask you this.
The first one was a big one because it was like a learning curve. So I wanted to know how to do it.
On a more serious note, I'd
Yeah.
like to get more crossbow hunting into the state because, strangely enough, there are a lot of states around us that allow it on a
Broader scale.
basis. Yeah.
Typically, crossbows have only been allowed if
Disabled?
if somebody's disabled.
Or for deer hunting, but you got to pay the extra fee. But like Maine, even New York allows it.
What, do
for
they have a
deer,
special season?
Moose, I believe so. But we should have a much broader season for crossbows, I think.
Well, I tried when we had the director of Fish and Game on. I tried to get him to support hand grenades for deer, hand grenade hunting for deer, but he didn't. He didn't
Well,
go
he's
with
a
that.
hard ASS.
Right? No, I'm not taking it again. I know you steal it from me afterwards. But no, I actually have done. I've done okay. I mean, I'm not like in the inner sanctum, which is really kind of necessary to get a lot of
That's
stuff through.
Latin. You speak Latin?
Yeah. Of course I do. Doesn't everybody? Um.
I think the Pope does, right? Isn't that like a requirement? The Pope has to be able to speak Latin.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What? That the Pope does, or that I speak Latin?
Both.
Both.
When I was-
we've got what, 8 minutes left?
Not even.
No, we got like
No,
3.
Like 3.
And it's really dragging.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of things to say.
When I was a kid, I didn't like orange juice with pulp in it, but I thought it was called Pope because I was just a little kid. So I used to tell my Catholic parents I don't like the Pope.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's too funny.
that's actually true.
Yeah.
Now I'm an adult and I just don't like Catholicism in general.
I like this. There's some good things in Catholicism. My
There
dad
are.
was Catholic. My mom was Protestant. I have to give them credit for they have a strong. They're very consistent as far as they oppose the death penalty and they oppose abortion. I don't agree with them on. I'm pro-life, but I support the death penalty. I don't
Right.
agree with them on the death penalty issue, but at least they're very consistent.
You know, I've actually,
strongly.
since I've been up there, I've actually switched on the death penalty.
Which way?
I used to be, classic Republican,
Yeah.
tough on crime, kill 'em all.
I'll let God sort them out.
Yeah. And 3 terms ago, I was up there, and they were debating that bathroom bill, like the same one they did in.
The transgender.
Transgender-
what you believe you are is where you should go to the bathroom.
Right. And the same thing they did in Texas just recently.
Yeah. Houston, yeah.
Houston. And it was such a ridiculous bill. It was just so out of the pale of logic that I realized that the state is becoming too immoral to have the authority to take anybody's life. And so I've changed my position on death penalty based on that. No, and it was really unpopular because one of the I don't think it was the chief of police in Manchester. It was right after that cop got killed. It was the same year, and I don't tend to vote. I don't tend to vote what's politically expedient.
Right.
I do what I really think is right. So anyway, so I voted for that, and he called me up and said, "What the heck are you thinking?"
Yeah.
And I told him, because
Wait, the Manchester police chief called you?
it was either that or a reporter called. I forget. I think it was a Manchester cop. He called me because it was right after what was the guy that shot the Addison,
Addison.
Oh, yeah.
and
You talking about the recent death penalty vote? Or,
this is 2000. This is
a while ago, right?
2009 or
oh,
something.
okay.
And I told him, I just believe that the state is becoming too immoral, and he didn't get it. He quoted me on when it went to the Senate, says, and there's crazy people who say this. He didn't get it.
That's awesome that he quoted you to show that people are crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny.
That is a trend. It's not that unusual anymore. A lot of conservatives now are going to the, or I should say coming, because I've always been very anti-death penalty, coming over to the anti-death penalty side.
And the cool thing was, I went into one of the legislators I was on Fish and Game Committee with was from up north, and he was a fish cop. Yeah. And he had been threatened by that guy up north that killed a lawyer and
Yep.
cop.
Carl Drager.
Drager, right?
Scary guy.
Yeah. He had visited Drager's house and wondered if he was going to get shot in the back. Anyway, so I went up to him and I says, I want you to know personally, because I knew how adamant he was about the death penalty. I says, I want you, because he's a really nice guy. I says, I want you to know personally that I voted against it. I voted for the repeal of the death penalty, and I explained why. And he says, well, I think that's the only reason I've heard that I can kind of at least see tolerate. So
are we cutting into other people's
We're
time?
we're out of time.
We're out of time.
We gotta go.
Hey, it's nice being back. Thanks a lot, Ross. Good luck, buddy. You're all right. I don't.
Ross Terrio, Cody Aubin, Manchester's Ward 7, Hillsborough 14.
Right.
Bring some sanity up to not what this guy is doing. I don't
No.
condone anything that he said.
I dig the cereal thing. That's good to have
Yeah,
the back, Gary.
cereal idea is a really, really good idea.
Yeah. Yes. And Ross, it was wonderful to see you.
Thanks for the hand grenade, buddy. You're all right.
It's always good to see you guys.
All right.
Just because I don't like you.
Now buy me a beer.
No.
Haha. All right, we got to go. Bye, everybody.